Hi, Mr. Espich. Thank you so much for letting me come in today and ask you some questions. It seems like there's been some confusion in our community recently about what Veteran Services actually does. There may be some confusion between Veteran Services and the VA. I know those are two different organizations. Could you maybe help me understand better what the difference is between them and what one service does versus the other and how they work together?
Well, sure. So the Greene County Veterans Service Office is basically a one-stop shop. So any veteran that comes into the office that's looking for any type of benefit, resource, things they've earned through their military service, our staff is trained to connect them to those resources. And so that can be a federal benefit, like through the VA, a state benefiter program, something we do locally, or even sometimes connection to a nonprofit organization. So to give you some examples, the VA is a large organization that's broken into three parts primarily. One is providing medical care for veterans. One section provides a number of different benefits, such as educational benefits or the guaranteed home loan program or service-connected disability. And the third big part is the cemetery system. So great, big, large organization. So when we have a veteran that comes in or a family member of a veteran that's interested in a benefit from the VA, we sit down and work with them to help them understand eligibility, what the VA will provide and won't provide, as well as fill out the forms, which are very detailed, to explain and actually stick with them through the process. So they're really a benefit provider that provide federal benefits while we connect to a number of different things.
So in some ways you're kind of like the middleman or an insurance, somebody who sells insurance in that sense, where you can, not that you sell anything, but
right.
Like you help veterans get the benefits that are out there. You don't actually provide the benefits.
Correct. In most cases, that's correct. There's a few exceptions to that, but overall, if somebody's coming in looking for an educational benefit, then they may be eligible for an education benefit based on their military service, actually from the military service they were in. Or they may be eligible for a VA benefit in the form of the GI Bill. Or maybe they're looking for one of their kids and it may be a scholarship program through the state of Ohio or something like that. So there's a number of different opportunities. Our staff, as I think you know, are all veterans ourselves. Every one of us are veterans, and we're just passionate about giving people information and working with them to connect them. And there's, because we're so close to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, we actually end up with currently serving members or retirees that have questions related to retirement benefits. And I mean, the gamut of benefits is significant. I mean, we have helped people get their high school diploma that left high school to go support the Vietnam War or World War II that never finished and helped them do that, to folks just trying to get a license plate that recognizes their service, to individuals that have severe disabilities, or sadly we have veterans that come in that just got a really bad diagnosis, or the surviving spouse of a veteran that just passed away, and we're trying to help them understand how those benefits work and what is available for them.
Yeah, so in terms of like expanding your programs, or how would you, because it sounds like more, you don't actually provide benefits aside from emergency financial aid occasionally, right? And then there's something to do with cemeteries and burials? So
the county does a couple different things. One, we provide transportation to Greene County residents to and from the Dayton VA Hospital. For non-ambulatory veterans, we contract with Green Cats to provide them the special type of transportation they need. So that's one benefit. We have a financial assistance program that really works to take veterans that have ran on some really hard times, and in that program we may provide them financial management training.
Okay.
We may actually work with if they're medical bills, to try to get those bills reduced and actually work with them. And part of that is we may provide some actual financial assistance related to that. We work with the recorders. There's a Veterans ID program for the recorder's office, or a Veterans Court program here in Greene County that we're very proud to be a part of. So we try to be problem solvers.
Okay.
Someone comes in, tells us what their need is or what their question is, and we try to find the absolute best resource, if nothing else, the information related to it, and do the best we can to connect them to the things that those veterans have earned through their military service.
So in terms of like expansion, what would you guys even do to expand, since it sounds like a lot of what you do is just getting your veterans connected to places that actually do provide the assistance?
We're always looking for ideas. So if we have a veteran or someone that comes in that has a need that hasn't been met, we take a look at that. But I don't know that right now we have anything that's just some new thing that we haven't expanded. Recently, we've been doing a lot of work to try to improve the way that we handle veterans with mental health issues. We have a lot of veterans, not necessarily in crisis, but in working with them, really have some struggles dealing with the various issues from their military service, or surviving spouses that are dealing with issues related to a recent loss. So we've been working very hard to try to find ways to expedite getting those veterans into the care they need. And we're hopeful that it becomes a statewide pilot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool, definitely. Now, is there anything that you can think of in terms of the funding questions that people have had? I know I've had videos with Mr. Huddleston and Mr. Perales and Mr. Spradlin as well, and just to make sure that I'm really understanding the situation, is there any money specifically set aside out of the Greene County tax dollars that are set aside for veteran services?
Not really set aside, I would say. You know, our board, who are all veterans, recommended from local Veterans Post and then selected through an interview process for our board. They're all passionate about trying to help veterans locally, as well as every one of the veterans that are on my staff. We work really hard, and they request the amount of money that we think is appropriate to meet the needs of those veterans, and have a great relationship with the county, to where if we ever needed to request more, something happened and we had a situation where we needed to expand, that we could. And we feel very confident in that relationship. Awesome. But we're always looking for different ways, things that we can do things a little bit better, always seeking improvement. And so I think there's always the opportunity there'll be something that comes up. But I'm confident that the money we're asking for is the money we need to support the veterans community of Greene County.
That's awesome. Yeah, so is there anything you'd like to say to the veterans that may be looking for assistance that don't know you exist?
Oh gosh, well, we'd love for you to come into our office. You know, it's amazing sometimes of how many things people just don't know, they just don't understand. And even if you don't want to come in yourself, if you know another veteran that you think would benefit from some information, and a lot of times veterans will wait till they're seeking for something, but so often, I guess, let me say this, the blessing of the job that we have here is the fact that we sometimes can change people's lives, and in a very positive way, by connecting them to the benefits they've earned through their military service, and we're really honored to do that. So if you're a veteran and you see this, or know a veteran, you got a question, give us a call. We'd be happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for talking to me, Mr. Espich.
Thanks. My pleasure.